What's going on, my little piglets? It's your BFF Pork Chop here, and I'm coming at you with entry number 28 of the June Vlog Challenge. I was just trying to figure out what the hell you were doing with that. June 28th, 2025. Greetings from the great state of Wyoming. That's where we're stopping for the night. We're the halfway point to Idaho, so we're like, yeah, this is a good stopping point. We talked about this, what, a few months ago, a couple months ago.
I actually didn't pay attention to where we were stopping until the beginning of the month.
Yeah, but she's like, oh, we can go this way or we can go that way. We can, cut through her old neck of the woods, her old stomping grounds, or we can go the other way. It was just, we talked about it, and I'm like, where are we stopping? And then even my grandma was like, oh, have you guys, passed through Salt Lake yet? Like, no, we're doing that tomorrow. We're not doing that tonight.
No. That would be another...
That's another state.
I think that's another 4 hours from here. I don't know. I have to look at the map. I have to look at the map.
No,
Plan our stops for tomorrow.
It's a good stopping point. We're staying at a hotel with the Wendy's right across the street, so we're going to go devour some of that after this, for sure. Because it's technically 11:30 in Texas, but it's 10:22 here, but mountain time.
So, mountain time.
Because, again... That's another thing. The TV just turned off and turned on. That was weird.
That's cool.
TV's listening. Great. Is it because I mentioned Wendy's? Like Baconators? If there's somebody in this room, turn the TV back on. Nah. Okay. Whatever. So, yeah, we just spent most of the day. Well, we worked the first half of the day and then pretty much hit the road straight out and took 2-hour shifts. She drove the first 2 hours, then me, then her, then me again. And we called it good. Very little problems getting here, which was fantastic. That was the first thing I was worried about, was like I was telling my grandma, because she called and she's like, oh, you guys haven't made it yet? I'm like, I still got 45 minutes, Grandma. Like, we had a harder time getting out of Amarillo because the GPS... the direction we were going told her to stay left, but there's a new exit ramp on the right.
And the GPS just hadn't updated with the construction yet, so. Because
of construction, Amarillo does its best Dallas impression every single day. And then she saw like all the cones and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is my life on a daily basis. Delivering flowers.
And he would have told me, because he goes out there, he would have told me, but he didn't realize what it was trying to get me to do.
Yeah.
And so there were technically 2 different ways we could have gone, so he thought that it was guiding us through the other way. And then I was like, what, the exit's over there? And he was like, oh. Yeah,
I was like, oh, why did you go that way? Whoops. Because, there's 2 ways to get there, so I guess the way the GPS deemed it quicker. So.
I looked after your grandma said that, and it was 35 minutes faster.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, there we go. GPS knows what it's doing sometimes. My favorite thing working, as a delivery driver, is where it tells me, turn right here, and I'm like, this is an alleyway, and it's like, no, front of the house, back of the house, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get to the house. I'm like, no, I'm not turning in the alleyway to get to somebody's house unless they have like a back house, which in the nicer neighborhoods, they don't do that. So I'm turning onto the street. They're like, well, you're just gonna have to turn around and go to the alleyway. I'm not turning in the alleyway. I know where I'm going. Like,
how are you doing it?
I know more than you. Sometimes I have to outsmart the GPS, and it's like, isn't that your whole job, your whole existence, is to be smart and tell me what to do? But whatever. We did see somebody from Florida get pulled over by a Colorado state trooper. Yeah. Because she was saying, like, oh, well, I'm speeding a little bit. He's going to get me because he kind of merged.
Pulled out behind me.
Yeah.
And so I had cruise control set. Speed limit was 75. I had cruise control set to like 78. But we were going down a hill. And when I saw him, I didn't realize that it was a police officer because it was a Colorado statey, and I didn't know what their cars looked like. Yeah. So I didn't realize that it was an officer.
Sports cars.
Until we were much closer. And when I finally figured it out, I looked down at the speedometer and it was like 84 or something. And I was like, oh God, please don't. Please do not. And then he pulled out behind me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get pulled over.
It's like, well, we're getting pulled over.
And I was like, I'm just going to tell him the truth. Like, I had cruise control set, and I'm used to our car that has like a sensor, which I used to hate, but I've gotten so used to it.
Same.
It was kind of difficult driving with the cruise control with the van because it doesn't do that. And so I had no idea that it had rolled down to 84. Otherwise, I would have braked because I'm a nervous driver and I drive the speed limit. I'm a grandma. It's fine. And so I was like, I'll just tell him the truth. The cruise control was set. It just rolled down the hill. But I was like, I'm going to be mad if he pulls us over and not that jerk that... And I said from California because I thought it was California plate, but it was a Florida plate.
Yeah, we got a little bit closer, saw the orange. I'm like, that's Florida.
But he flew past me, and so I was in the right-hand lane, but I moved over into the left-hand lane because the officer was there, and it's just like normal, move over.
Right.
But before I had moved over, he flew. And I'm talking, if I was going 84, he had to at least been going 95.
Yeah.
Because whizzed by me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know why I'm going to get pulled over, but not that jackhole from California. And then the officer whizzed past me, and I was like, oh.
I was like, oh, nope, he's getting that other guy. So there we go. Which was fine, because we're just like, heh. Because, that guy was... I mean, again, you think 84 with the cruise controls on? Yeah, that guy must have been going way faster than that on purpose.
Had to have been.
On purpose. I'm gonna say at least probably 90.
It had to have been.
And that cop, was like she said, was probably doing like 95, 100 just to catch up with him. Mm-hmm. And so.
It took him forever to pull over.
Yeah, he just kept going, and the one time I got pulled over for speeding, I didn't know I was getting pulled over, so it probably took him a minute.
Yeah.
Because I was, actually got it heading back from seeing her when she lived in her little Harry Potter under the stairs bedroom. And so I'm just, I used to go like 10, 15 over the speed limit all the time. Not anymore. I usually go about 5, sometimes 10. But yeah, I didn't know I was getting pulled over, and even the cop, when he pulled me over, was like, hey, I've been following you for a while. I'm like, yeah, sorry. And it was a whole ordeal because the window wouldn't roll down properly in my Pontiac on the driver's side. So I'm just like, it doesn't roll down. You're going to have to go to the passenger side. And he was just like, you know how fast you're going? I was like, 80? And he was like, you were going like 85 or 86 or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know I was going that fast. So I totally lied my ass off. He's like, there you go. Here's your ticket. And I'm like, I deserve this. I'm so sorry. Lo siento, amigo. So, the one time I got pulled over for speeding, I'm sure that guy, because I was just blasting my music, I was driving, having a good time, and then a Dimmitt police officer pulled me over on the outskirts of Hereford. I was just like, oh, damn. So it's small town. Like when I read that it was from the Dimmitt, police officer on the ticket, I was just like, yeah, those small town cops really do not give a shit. Like I could be telling them that I'm about to lose a battle by taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. He'd be like, yeah, you should have planned accordingly. Like, maybe you shouldn't have eaten a certain food, or maybe you should be wearing a diaper. Like, small town cops usually do not give a shit, literally, about that. So, other than that, it was, good to see. We've seen 4 states today. And
we'll see 2 more tomorrow.
Yeah, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, and we're in Wyoming.
Colorado Springs
is freaking gorgeous. We were like, hey, we should move here.
Boss, if you watch this, I want you to know that the only reason that we are not moving is because of you.
Well,
and she does watch them sometimes.
She does. So.
What do you mean 2 reasons?
My grandma.
Well, yeah, but this is always after she's gone.
Yeah, but so we're just like, yeah, this is really nice, and we're looking up all the amenities, and it's like, well, I was like, I'm looking for two things. Or I said, I'm looking for one thing. And she was like, I bet they have in Elm Street. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking for two things. I said, I just want to know if they had a Taco Bell. So I looked it up. There was like 8 Taco Bells in Colorado Springs. I'm like, well, that's good. And then right as we drove by one, there was an In-N-Out burger right next to one. I'm like, that'd be nice. And then I saw a sign for a Whataburger. So I'm like, Colorado Springs is best of both worlds. They got the Texas and the California restaurants, which I didn't know they had an In-N-Out in Colorado.
I didn't either until we passed it.
I didn't, because I know that there's some down in the DFW area in Texas, but I thought it like goes from like California, Nevada, Arizona, then skips New Mexico, and then I thought it skipped Colorado and then went down to Texas, but apparently not. But apparently they said they were going to add one at the Four Corners at some point, In-N-Out burger, for
Like,
New Mexico, Colorado.
that's a weird place for an In-N-Out.
Like they're going to put it like as close to like the Four Corners as possible.
They can't. That's all reservation land, so that's not going to happen.
Well, as close as possible. So I'm sure, but it sounded like they were going to have it towards the New Mexico side.
That is the reservation land.
Well, I guess they made a deal. I don't know.
Like, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know that because I saw an article that somebody posted. One of your friends or one of our friends from the area posted and shared, like, "Hey, we're gonna get an In-N-Out in New Mexico." So
Was it
I don't know.
Michaela?
Maybe. Might have been Michaela. Might have been.
She actually does her research, so
Yeah.
there might be
I don't know.
validity. If you're watching this, Michaela, we love you.
Michaela or Ashley or
I don't think Ashley would have posted it.
Shauna.
I don't think she would have posted
So it was
it.
probably Michaela.
It was probably Michaela.
So, but that was a couple years ago, so I don't know what's going on with that. But all right, well, I think that's all.
We saw a homeless man with a horse.
We did see a homeless man with a horse.
That was kind of cool, and his horse looked very healthy.
Yeah, it was more healthy than
Clean
him.
coat, looked good.
One of those guys that probably takes care of his horse more than he takes care of himself.
And I guess to be fair, we don't actually know that he was homeless. He just looked like he was homeless and was carrying a pack.
Yeah.
But
So tell John Marston, I said, as we were driving
and he
by.
had a backpack. He didn't have it on his horse. He had a grain bucket satchel to his saddle, but he had a backpack on. So I don't know. And then on the freeway on the outside of Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
No, because you were driving. So between Castle Rock and Denver,
Yeah.
we saw a guy driving his motorcycle standing up.
Yeah, the whole, not
The
like
whole time.
for a second. Like
No,
he was actually
like
upright.
Full blown standing up till we couldn't see him anymore. He was going faster than us.
She was like,
It was very strange.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is Colorado. So this is a weird place. Real weird place. But that's okay. Because I was like, yeah, maybe we can just stop in Colorado Springs one of these, trips and just see what it has to offer. I mean, like, clearly to have In-N-Out burger, which was enough reason for me to stop.
Pretty. We were talking about it when we were driving through there. Like, my heart loves the beach, and my heart loves the mountains. I am in the plains. My heart is empty. There's neither half there.
Which, when the plains is all you know, that's fine with me. Like, I mean, I'm okay with the plains, but and then it's just an added bonus if I get to see the mountains or the beach or the forests or whatever. But that's just one of the reasons that opposites attract, right? So that's a good thing. I would say.
I keep it interesting.
Same. And what else was there that we saw? Got to see Mile High where the Broncos play.
Oh yeah.
I drove by it. And oh, cool. Because she had me drive in Denver, and even my grandma was like,
Screw that.
"How was driving in Denver?" I'm like, "It was a little bit of like rush hour, but I mean, it was fine." Like
I was on the edge the entire. So it's really just downtown that bothered me because it's very claustrophobic with all the tall buildings and the narrow freeway lanes and so much traffic.
It's the same way in Dallas.
Yeah, it's the same way in Dallas, but worse because Dallas is the lanes are bigger.
That the drivers are.
And the drivers are worse. Like, I will say that, you know, Colorado, driving through Colorado, even in like the thick of traffic, they were all really respectful to each other. Even the cars that, because there were some little zippers going, you know, around, and they were really respectful of everybody too.
Yeah.
Like, they were not cutting people off. You got cut off once.
Yeah, I got cut off once, and then I turned my signal on to get into the right lane because it was an express toll lane. I'm like, I don't need that. So the second that I did it, like the truck behind me, I guess it pissed him off, and he just right past me. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, dude, what the hell?
But that was outside of Denver.
Yeah, that was.
But driving through Denver, everybody was really respectful.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I was still glad that he was driving. And then when we got closer to here, like when his grandma called, it was dark.
And just one lane.
And I could not see anything.
I could barely see. I was just
My
like,
night vision is horrible. So it was like, well, I am so glad you're driving because...
Yeah, my night vision's not the best. Definitely don't miss that, especially when I was delivering pizzas late at night. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'd rather work and deliver flowers in the daytime versus pizzas in the nighttime. That's just.
And he didn't have to drive very long in the dark.
No,
it was only like 45 minutes
yeah,
or
it was
so.
like,
Because
yeah.
it was like getting dark
yeah.
when his grandma called.
Yeah, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm just checking to see if y'all made it. I'm like, not yet. She's like, oh, you guys are getting there later than y'all thought. I'm like, I was thinking, well, we're actually right on time. And then she pointed out, no, we're getting like 30 minutes early.
Yeah, we were 30 minutes earlier than what the GPS said we would be.
So. I love beating the GPS. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, really excited about that. Well, I guess I'm going to go devour a Baconator or something here in a bit. So, that's all I have for y'all. Oh, Wesley Apex commented on who has the best protein bars. And I think he said something about Built Bar and the Robert Irvin are the best ones. I can't remember. I just realized that he commented on that as we were driving into the hotel parking lot. I got the notification. Like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
I don't have my phone over here.
No, that's over there.
For you.
But we could just talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, so guys, that's all I have for y'all. Thank y'all so much once again for dropping by. Y'all can please subscribe to become a piglet. I'm officially a state traveler in this June vlog challenge, which I usually am about this time of year. We always go somewhere at least. Yeah, I appreciate it and hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. And always remember, my little piglets, Colin Porkchop loves y'all the mostest. Y'all take it easy, guys, and we will see y'all in another state tomorrow. Bye, guys.